Hello and welcome to Aquarium Plant Index. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about Phyllanthus fluitans, and these are often referred to as red root floaters. So red root floaters are a free-floating, flowering aquatic plant known as a hydrophyte. So these plants float on the water surface, and they're able to do so thanks to sponge-like leaves that create spaces for air, allowing them to sit gently on the water surface, having full access to CO2, while the roots sit below the water surface, taking up nutrients from the water column. So these are native to the Amazon River basin, and they can be found across the slower moving waters of South America. However, they have now been found in parts of North America where they do actually have the potential to become an invasive species. Red root floaters can vary in coloration from red to green, and this is influenced by light intensity and nitrate levels. So low nitrates and high lighting would encourage a more red coloration, whereas low light and high nitrates would result in a more green coloration. But with that said, they do appreciate nutrient-rich waters. Red roots tend to do much better in slower moving waters, and high water flow can actually cause the plant to become stressed, it can cause it to sink, and it can potentially damage the delicate structures. It is also important to note that they do prefer open-top aquariums where they have full access to the air and CO2. Red roots have small root structures that can also take on a red hue, making them unique and easily identifiable against other floating plant species. Phyllanthus fluitans are easy plants, and providing that the requirements previously mentioned are met, this plant is a plant that you can simply just pop in your aquarium and almost forget about it and just leave to do its own thing. It does, however, multiply quite quickly, so you might want to take out handfuls of them every now and again. And this is just because if you let them overtake the surface of the aquarium, they'll block the light to the lower lying plants, and they can also stop gas exchange happening. So it is definitely recommended that if you get an excess of red root floaters, just to remove them from your aquarium. When performing maintenance and water changes, it can be a good idea to remove as many of these plants as you can. And this is just because they can get stuck or they can get damaged as you drain the water level lower. So they can get stuck amongst the hardscape and things like that. So if you can remove them, it's best to do so just for the health of the plant. Red root floaters, or floating plants in general, do have a lot of benefits in the aquariums. They make a really good helping plant, and basically what that means is because they have access to CO2 in the atmosphere and they also have access to the nutrients in the water column, they grow really fast. And because of that fast growth rate, they're constantly taking up nutrients from the water column, which can actually help mitigate algae. They also provide shelter and shade for fish, and they can also act as like a visual barrier, so your fish can sense where the surface of the water is, and it can sometimes just prevent them or at least deter them from jumping. But obviously if you have a fish that does like to jump, it's probably best to just lower the water level or keep a lid on the aquarium. And lastly, they just add another area of visual interest in your aquarium. From the top down, you've got these beautiful red plants that can sometimes put out tiny white flowers, and from the underside of it, you can see the beautiful red roots just swaying in the water column. They can also look really nice as well, complemented with things like Salvinia minima, which is another floating plant that takes on a more lime green hue, and you've just kind of got that visual contrast in terms of colours. Let us know if you've ever grown a red root floater before and what you think of these plants, and don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to see more like it, and we will see you on the next episode of Aquarium Plant Index.